Let's run through different ways to cut plywood without using a table saw. Now, method of choice is the circular saw. I'm just using my cordless one because it's easy. Now, the first step that you can do is, if you're not worried about accuracy, is just use a chalk line. Make your marks, chalk your line, and then just run your saw blade along the chalk line. Now, method number 2 is this little gadget comes with whenever you buy a circular saw. I'm not sure the name, but I know its use and I know how to use it. So this little tool is good for if you want to just rip narrow strips of plywood. You can also rip 2x4s or 2x6 as well. It doesn't have to be plywood, but you just slide this little tool and you can adjust the width. You lock it down with the screw. You know what's funny? It's upside down. See? And then it just runs alongside the plywood, and away you go. You can do multiple strips of the same width, right? If you want to do like toe kicks for your kitchen, you could just rip a whole bunch of strips all at the same time, same width. So that's another method. Now, another way is you can just use plywood. You can either clamp it down, so you could just clamp it on either side of your surface. And so let's just mock that up. See, when you're using a circular saw, you can't go at it from this way because the motor's here, and it'll always hit this and mess up what you're doing, right? So you gotta turn it around, and you gotta use this side of the table of your circular saw against this edge. And then all you have to determine is what the distance is from here to the edge of the tooth where it cuts, and I'll show you that in another video. So you can either screw this down to your whatever you're cutting. You can use clamps, clamp either end, doesn't matter, as long as this piece is straight. Another method is just to use a level, because they're usually straight, I hope, and you just clamp it down and away you go. And then if you want to get fancy, I have this little tool. This is just good for 4-foot sheets or less. They actually make a tool that's like the exact same thing but over 8 feet, so you could actually rip full lengths. And it just has this clamp mechanism underneath, and you can slide it, adjust it, and then over here's your handle, and you just snug it down to your line, and then run your, like I said before, you just run your circular saw along the edge of it. So that's just a couple of different options you can use for ripping or cutting plywood.